Alright, moving into April 12th here, turn number 9. I just finished turn 7 and 8, so we'll check in with how things are going and see what the situation is at the moment. So we'll start over with the Chinese, the least interesting front. Starting to get a little more interesting, but the supply isn't there to have any sort of sustained movement. So just on the last turn, made an attack, killing a Japanese 5 action rating step in this hex here, losing one of the marauders ourselves though, so pretty much a trade, but we can afford to have those sorts of trades here with the Japanese. The Chinese just have stacks and stacks of infantry. It feels like more coming in, not great action rating, but the combat factors are there, so just powerful forces here when augmented with the high action rating can really cause issues and continues to cause issues. If the supply was there, I think we'd be steamrolling, but alas it is not. Slowly building the road, improving the road as we move along. Nothing crazy though. Pretty dull, I think, all in all right here. If you're playing this game with multiple players, I wouldn't want to be the Chinese, an American player, that's for sure. So, alright, we'll check in with our Chindit friends in the center here. Again, nothing major. They're pretty much stagnant in their positions from before. We've made some attempts at moving on in Da, but the DGs have just failed every time. We actually lost a step on our B-25 bomber in making an attempt down there towards Inda. But the Allies are on a double turn now. Should be able to move this stack in to behind the enemy lines here and actually make a direct assault on Inda in the next turn, as well as I'll be attacking from the airfield, I believe, onto these two positions here to weaken the Axis position there. So let's go take a closer look at it. So, as you can see here, we'll be making a crossing along the river line here. These units are actually low supply, combat supply, and no on-map supply to eat from, so hopefully we can roll well for our foraging before we attempt an attack, but I don't know how much is in Inda. I don't believe we have too much. Garrison and action rating 2 and a bunch of supply. Wow, actually this could be bad. I probably should have started pulling back as the Japanese here. So 3 supply points plus a token. And not a lot defending it. Thankfully we are dug in, but not feeling very confident there. Wow. I think I've played the Japanese pretty poorly so far in this game, and we'll get to that over in the Imphal region, where I think the game is about to turn. The Japanese have been on the front foot there, pushing, but that's not going to last much longer, so I'll slide over there and see what's going on. Alright, so here we are, Imphal, finally making it into the plains. I don't think there is a Japanese unit in the plains yet. There will be, likely, once they get to go, but we haven't actually made it out of the forest. Made it out of the mountains, but not out of the rough jungle hexes there. Well, with the situation up here, we may have some units to add to that cause. We have cleared the Japanese off of the road. Did it fairly easily. I mean, the troops I lost on the last 2 turns wouldn't call it easy, but on this turn it went fairly smoothly, eliminating a step, taking an option as retreat, but nothing major. Cleared that line entirely. 31st Division of the Japanese up here is just eviscerated. We have, I believe, 2 artillery, one with the headquarters, some water buffalo in this area, I believe, and then 2 5 action rating battalions. But it's not enough in this terrain to do any damage. I have no supply to speak of at all. I've sent some donkeys and elephants back, but it's just slow going. My supply, I haven't managed it too well, I don't think. It's been tough because of the Chindits to shuttle around supply to maybe here where I could move back and forth with those units to try and shuttle it around. But I think the incorrect decision I made was bringing as many water buffalo at the start as I did. It's just really compromised their position there. Didn't have the supply to attack, didn't want to go into low status, and just the terrain has been killing us. I think the Allies defended it well in moving their units out from the line of the road, not defending on the road entirely. So even those poor action rating, 2 strength battalions of various nationalities are able to defend fairly well. Because even here with my Japanese forces, it's no way of really DGing any of these units here. I have no option because there's no supply. Even if I did, it's a low artillery unit, low barrage strength unit. So the best I could hope for is a 2-to-1 against one of these, and that would be an extremely close terrain because we're not on a road hex. And 2-to-1 in extremely close isn't going to get you very far. You're going to lose both those steps of the Japanese forces most likely. Now, I realize that with the Japanese you shouldn't be pushing to attack as much as I probably did either, so that was a shortcoming of my plans. I think I saw the opportunity, saw the Allied reinforcements that could be coming, and saw our chance to push on infall if we could cut the supply, and just decided to go guns blazing for the road, hoping we could get it in a few places, and it did succeed slightly, but we just couldn't follow on with our successes because of the lack of supply and the losses the Japanese have taken have been excessive, and a lack of replenishment of those losses as well has just been atrocious for us. So I think the Japanese have lost 27 steps in the game so far, and only rebuilt 3 of those, which is just awful. Haven't been able to move on and rebuild our forces in this region and try and renew the attack again. So alrighty, take another quick look at infall here. I always say this, I feel like it's not going to go well. We'll look at the supply. I feel like the game is going to be lost for the Japanese, though. They just don't have the forces necessary to push on any longer. I mean, maybe if I look at the victory conditions again, it's not really about them winning as much as not losing too badly. So if we turn into defensive mode now, I mean, it's definitely not easy for the Allies to push us back. Maybe we can rebuild something, start holding on to the ground we've gained here. Just a shame getting so close to infall, and I think the tide is going to start turning now. Some strong reinforcements are coming. The Kohima area can be pretty much cleared of most of its units because the Japanese are no longer a threat up there unless they can start rebuilding. But then we'll be able to start pushing towards the Japanese positions again, pushing them out of the Shinan Pass, I think. Yeah, it's a real kick in the teeth. We got so close. I think once we got into the clear, we might have been able to start bringing some of our armor up, which has just sat beautifully down here in the sunlight. Yeah, I don't know. What could have been what still could be. This is OCS, we never know what's going to happen, but alrighty, we'll carry on with the game and see where it takes us. So, alright, so we'll take a look at the victory points situation so far, in terms of what's been accrued and what our goals are with the rest of the game. I haven't really looked at this much now, I'm just kind of off the cuff here, but you can see the step losses as well, like I said earlier. 27 axis step losses, and I counted the dead pile, and we have 24 units in the dead pile still, so only 3 replacements the whole game. That's 8 turns in. That's pretty bad, especially when the Japanese replacements table's fairly generous, I think. Anything other than a 2 to 5 will get them something, or at least a chance of something. And they've just not had the success there that they need to be effective. If we look at hump diversions and the Imphal Dimapur road cut points there, it's 5.5 points, not bad. 3 turns we managed to cut the Dimapur Imphal road with limited force because of how much fighting we had to put in just to get to it. I think I probably should have maneuvered more there than going balls to the wall action trying to take the thing. But you can see the Chindits doing very well with 3 full victory points gained for their side in their actions there, with no end in sight as far as I can tell of them cutting that rail line. I think they're going to be even more successful as we go forward. So, but the victory points, the major cities are still held, or major villages, I guess they would be, still held by the Japanese. Michikina, I don't know how you say that. 20 victory points still, fairly well in the Axis hands. Inda threatened. Kohima is not going anywhere. Moguang is in the Michikina area, so that should be fairly solid for them for a while now. And Kalewa, once I figure out where that is, we'll see what's going to happen with that. Where the hell is that? I'm going to go look. Oh, it's to the south of Imphal, near the starting Japanese position. So, if the Americans, if the British can start pushing the Japanese out of the Imphal Valley, then maybe we threaten that. So, I don't know. I don't know where this game's going. I haven't played it to its end before. This is my first time really sitting down and getting through in depth with it. So, it'll be interesting to see where it ends up. Michikina is the key to this, obviously, with the victory points. It'd be a big swing to take 20 away and add 20 onto the Allies. That would win the game for them. Yeah, so I don't see the Japanese recovering from the situation they're in now. I think they'll be on the back foot for the rest of the game. They don't really have the reinforcements coming in later in the game to really push on. Whereas the Allies have a decent amount of force coming in this turn. On April 12th, they had a good amount of force in the last 2 turns as well. I still have 6 units of the airlift to bring in as well. And now not have to worry about airing in supply to the Imphal area since we've reopened the road. So, alrighty, mosey on with this and see how the game goes. So, if I don't make a video soon, it's because I'm going away on vacation, going to a Formula 1 race in Montreal, so don't think I've fallen off the face of the earth again if I don't make a video for a little while. So thanks to everybody for watching though.